am I? For few people who are new today, I'm Neetu Wise. Welcome to my room. As a relationship coach and an NLP master practitioner, what it really means is I help people who are stuck in the same arguments finally break that cycle by learning how to respond instead of react. Learn to communicate clearly and reduce anger outbursts or completely shutting down. I got married at a very young age of 21. By 28, I was divorced with a little 2-year-old girl. No one in my family had ever done that. I felt judged, misunderstood, and completely alone at a very young age. There were nights that I just laid awake, overwhelmed, exhausted, wondering if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life or the bravest. At that time, all I wanted was for someone to come and rescue me, someone to tell me, hey, if you did this, your life will be happier. But instead, what people did was give me a mirror. I had to look inside that mirror and I was told, stop running from your pain. I'm thinking, I'm not running. Stop looking outside for someone to rescue me. Well, I didn't know any other way. Everyone else was making decisions for me growing up. So why was this going to be different? I had to make a decision? It was too hard. I had to look at the patterns. I had to look at my childhood patterns. What was I avoiding and what was I running from? But at that moment, I made a commitment to myself that I will only focus on me. And I was going to be okay because if I was going to be okay, my daughter will too. Since then, I rebuilt, I remarried, and let me be real. Even I remarried, no marriage is perfect. We have our challenges, but the difference is, what is the difference now? Is I just have more tools to communicate better, to understand better. That's the kind of strength I now teach. It wasn't easy, and it's not easy for any of you. I individually know quite a few of you, and I know it's not easy. I didn't want to be told that I was wrong. I didn't want to dig into my past or the guilt. I just wanted someone to come and fix it. But what I learned is the people who truly help us or want to help us, especially our partners or our kids or people, they don't have the answers. They can only walk beside us. And some walk beside us, and some appear to walk beside us. This is not about perfect marriages. It's not about perfect relationships either. It's about building real, authentic relationships to show softness, to show a level of understanding. How am I going so far? Yeah, good. So I'm covering just a few topics today because I'm spending more time on some grounding exercises today. So stay where you are. Don't get distracted. Don't get up. I'm touching dynamics of relationships. I'm touching emotional triggers, regulating your emotions, and some grounding exercises throughout. The dynamics of the relationships. Okay, very quickly. Here's how it normally goes. Two people meet. There's chemistry, connection, a sense of, oh my God, someone finally understands me. It's the first stage of romance is beautiful. You see the best in each other. You're generous, you're patient, you forgive, you let go because you love their attention. But eventually, the first stage fades. Life kicks in. Responsibilities grow, and that's when the second stage of the relationship begins. And this is where many people struggle. Whether you're in a relationship or not, this is the part I want you to pay attention to. Now, would it be okay if I demonstrate this on my whiteboard? Would it be okay? Because I really do want to explain. Perfect. All right. What we're looking at today. Can everyone see it? Yes? All right. One circle, two circle. Okay? This is you. And this is, let's say, a partner. Whether you have a partner or you don't, it doesn't matter. This analogy will help you understand what I'm trying to say. This part in between is your relationship. Okay? Now comes the fun part. This is you. All these crosses that you can see, these are your insecurities, your fears, your guilt, your shame, your embarrassment, your childhood patterns, your habits, and anything else that is unhealthy. Okay? Same goes for your partner. They've got same. All right? In the second stage of the relationship, when you get comfortable with each other, small things become big arguments. There's criticism, people withdraw, shut down, whatnot. Same arguments, same patterns, they keep repeating week in, week out, year in, year out. One partner feels that they're always giving more. And if you add children to the mix, well, there's exhaustion, there's divided attention, there's stress, less intimacy, less patience, everything. Now, these two, if you remain in this, so what's in the middle is your problems that you bring to the relationship, and the same goes for your partner that they bring to the relationship. This is where most people either stay stuck and drift apart or become aware that we are two different individuals with strengths and weaknesses. This is where one of you will need to wake up and say to yourself that I am now going to look at my part in the relationship, and I am now going to stop blaming, and I'm going to figure out who I really am, what I need to do. So when you start to begin this work on you, you start to work on your insecurities. You start to work on your bad habits. The guilt you've been carrying for so long for either being a single parent or guilt of, there's so many things, embarrassment of things, childhood patterns. And you start to work on this slowly. As you begin to work on you, your triggers your emotional wounds, your patterns start to change. Your nervous system, your belief system starts to change. The energy in your relationship starts to change. They love hearts, by the way, if you can see. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, but it happens slowly, but it happens magically. You speak differently, you react less, you hold better boundaries. And often, when this starts to happen, guess what? The other person begins to shift too. They start to work on their insecurities, their guilt, their childhood patterns. And in these moments, you're faced with a choice. Not from guilt or or pressure. You got to look at this. Let's say you're sitting on number 3, okay? You worked on everything. You're on number 3 out of 10, okay? And this person that you are with, they're on 5 out of 10. You've done a lot more work on yourself than they have. This is the time you make a choice with clarity, not with pressure. You make a choice. Do I stay and keep growing together? Or do I choose something else for me? Either way, it starts with you. Not because any of this is your fault or their fault. It's no one's fault. But because your healing is your responsibility. How is this landing for you guys? Let your fingers do the talking. In the chat functionality, can you put in one word, just one word, after looking at these relationship dynamics, what comes up for you? Sumi says accurate. Rupal says inner clarity. Nidhi says clarity. Aman says, you can only control yourself. Absolutely. Lovely. I think a lot of people, yes, power is within. Absolutely. Power is definitely within. However, Rupal, still people expect that even though we understand, we still give our key to our happiness in other person's pocket. And we expect them to read our mind. Can't you just understand? You've been with me for so many years. Can't you understand? So when you actually come to the program, you'll finally stop. Nisha says communication is the key. Absolutely. You'll in the program, you'll stop running in circles. You'll start to see results, shifts, emotional energy shifts. Even if your partner or whoever it is that you are going to be with in near future, they don't change. And what would that give you? That would give you the power to feel calm, not reactive, connected. Stop running on empty. You're not doing anyone any favors. And guys, this is not a lecture. I'll be sharing tools, but your voice matters. Any questions? I want you to put your hand up or chuck it in the chat that you have a question. Because if you're asking, maybe somebody else wants to ask as well. Um, Now, let's say you've moved on and you've done the inner work. Yay. You're calmer, more aware, and you're not reacting the same way you used to. And maybe your partner's responding a little bit better too. That's great. There's less tension. And one day, everything's calm, everything's good. And one day, something happens. Your partner says something that upsets you. You say words back to them. It upsets them. And you think, oh my God, here we go again. Yes, someone, the way one communicates doesn't mean other. Yes, absolutely. And I'm getting to that. Here we go again. And you feel the heat rising in your cheeks. And, you cry or you go completely blank, frozen. That is a trigger. If your body is reacting to something that reminds of a past hurt, it might be something from your childhood. Maybe you were asked to shut down, to be quiet. I know I was. Be quiet, be quiet. That's all I heard. It's not your partner's actions that are actually the problem. It's the trigger. They are definitely the catalyst, but they are not the reason you are angry today. They are not the reason you're depressed. Here's what most people do in the moment. They either get angry, they shut down, or they just over explain and, you know, just be quiet. They freeze. But what if you could? What if you could just pause just for a second and say, whoa, what was, what was, what was it that I did before? Why did I react so badly? What did that remind me of? And that's the moment things start to shift. Because now, instead of going into that same old fight, you're recognizing that this isn't about what they said. And when you can bring patience, guys, very important. All, most of you that I've spoken to said to you about self-compassion. You cannot have compassion for somebody else if you don't have it for you. Have patience and kindness for you, not judgment. Otherwise, you'll stop spiraling. So you can either, two scenarios very quickly, you can either get really angry and then get angry with yourself, hide in a corner, blame yourself, guilt. Might as well put a blanket over your head and go, well, I don't want to leave here. Well, that's one way of handling it. And the other way of handling is pause. Understand your part, that whiteboard. Understand your part in the relationship. What baggage did you bring? What can you work on? When you begin to see triggers as clues, you can change the way how you look at conflict. And the conflict doesn't need to be with somebody. The conflict is also here. And that is what this work is about, not about fixing your partner. I'd love to have this magic wand. I love it. Now, this doesn't mean you excuse their behavior. I'm not suggesting that. It means it gives you the power. The key to your happiness needs to be in your pocket. And relationships don't heal by avoiding triggers. They heal because you work through them. I want to share a personal story. if I'm okay, if that's okay with you. Most of you know this, but a few of you don't. 7 months ago, my husband had a very serious motorbike accident. He was in he was in regional Victoria and he hurt himself pretty badly. He was airlifted to the hospital and he lived or stayed in the trauma ward for 3 weeks. One call from the paramedic changed everything for me. In that moment, time just froze. I was numb. The fear, the panic, the hopelessness, everything hit me hard. Watching him in hospital in bandages, awaiting several surgeries, is a sight I can never forget. After 3 weeks in the trauma ward, he came back home, and overnight, I went from being a wife to a carer. And even though he's now pulled through 90%, something inside me has not fully recovered.
Look,
3 weeks ago, he started talking about bikes again. Look, he lights up when he talks about it. I can see the independence and the freedom that he loves from it. And when he came home and he told me that he bought a bike, all I could feel was tension in my chest. My heart raced and I just wanted to shut the whole conversation down. That reaction is a trigger. It's not logic. The bike isn't here. But it was survival. It was, even as I say it now, you can probably see it, my whole body shivers. It's my nervous system saying, not again. Because that trigger on a personal level reminds me of feelings of my own fear and loneliness. And here's the thing, I didn't choose that reaction. None of you actually choose that reaction. Because our triggers aren't about what's happening right now. That's why when people say, oh, look, just calm down. Can you just breathe? Doesn't always help. We have to understand what's underneath it. And honestly, I thought I had worked on myself fully until this similar feelings bubbled up again. So can we try something with this group today? Before we dive in, just relax. Take a deep breath. I want you to try. I want you to do an exercise, the first one for the night. Close your eyes and just ask yourself one word. Don't overthink it. It's a very quick one. How are you feeling in your relationships right now? One word only. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Disconnected. Yes. Nidhi says disconnected. Who else? Rupal says invisible at times. Yeah. Thank you, by the way. Each and every one of you, thank you for sharing. It's not always easy. Emotionally checked out. Yes, Aman, I hear you. Clarity about personality differences. Oh, yes. Talk to any couple, they'll tell you, oh my God, we're two different people. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. This is deep, really deep. Think of a recent conflict, all right? Staying on the triggers topic. Think of a recent conflict where you were triggered. Again, don't think of an don't think of a time where it went from 0 to 10 and there was no coming back for a while. Just kind of stay around 4 or 5 or 6 max. What did you feel? Question one. Question two. Where else you felt triggered? Absolutely, but what did you feel? When I say what did you feel? Angry, sad, depressed, I don't know, just helpless. Well, there you go. What did you feel? Quickly write, guys. Lost. Yes. Frustrated. Yes. Absolutely. Unheard. Oh no, not again. I said that before. Yeah. And that's your body reacting. If any one of you have heard or read the book, Body Keeps the Score, that's what it does. I think I missed the last few. Misunderstood. Yeah, got it. Part two. So what did you feel? You said. Question two. Where else in your life have you felt this same situation or same feeling? Shweta says invisible. Yes, Shweta, I hear you. Where else in your life have you felt the same emotion? Childhood. Absolutely. So when you say childhood, Rupal, you don't have to come off mute. I want you to just reflect on it. When you say childhood, can you think of a particular age you were at? You can. That's where I want you guys to go. Yeah? So when Sumi said, oh no, not again, where did you go, Sumi?
Do you mean what I did? Or...
Yeah. So other relationships. Yes. So it's not only from our childhood patterns, but we get wounds from other relationships as well. Exact incident too, I reflected back to when similar situation happened. That's it. So you get the point where I'm going with this. Yeah. Part three of this exercise is very important one. Whose voice is behind this pattern? So in my case, it's my mother's voice, sometimes my dad's. Few people who've been a bit quiet would be nice to get some engagement from you guys too. Parenting, dealing with kids is the same, absolutely. But whose voice, when you are saying, oh no, not again, and you feel that feeling in your part of the body, let's say here, whose voice is it? किसकी आवाज है जो ऐसा आता है कि हाँ ये मुझे ऐसा बोलते थे? That's what I'm saying. The journey I took and people who played roles from initial to now, yes, but whose voice is it, Rupal? understand that there is a pattern to our patterns. You're saying it's your own voice, Nidhi? It might be your own voice because you're actually saying it, but there's always someone who's actually in the background orchestrating this. Reflect on that, okay? Reflect on that. Conversations that we have with our partner or a sibling also can have similar impact on our bodies. Let me tell you why I really care about this. I spent years as a single parent, right? Doing everything myself with no room to fall apart. I did not have a choice. And when I eventually remarried, I thought the hard part was over, but it's not. And I kept thinking, if I can just explain it better, maybe they'll understand. And I know there's 1, 2, 3, at least I know there's 3 people in this group that have done this and are still doing it. If I can explain it, if I can explain it differently, if I can just use different analogies, if I can get my partner to watch that YouTube video or to download that book or read that, whatever, just podcast, listen to the podcast, maybe they'll understand. But however, sometimes these conversations still keep looping. Problems don't go away. What helps? What helps isn't having more emotional talks. If there's anything I have learned, it's that in my own life from my own experiences. It was to learn how to calm this person down when I felt overwhelmed. To listen to what I really needed. What is my trigger telling me? Even if the other person doesn't agree. This is what this program does, a sense of relief, knowing you're not going to get stuck anymore. And what you see out is transformation. I like to think of relationship like a house. Just it's my understanding, Rupal said, that I developed from it, so my voice to its outcome. Okay, I will talk to you about that. Aman said, no one voice comes to my head. It's like, oh no, same argument again. No point of going into the rabbit hole. I can guarantee, Aman, there is a voice. It's the beliefs and emotional language we developed. Stop the outer noise and connect your inner voice. Absolutely, but how do you do that? How do you do that? Think of relationship like a house, okay? You move the furniture, you paint the walls, and you rearrange the furniture. Like you just play around with it. But if the foundation is cracked, the same problems will keep coming up. This isn't about fixing things in 1 hour today. It's about giving you the tools so you can feel stronger and more in control. And the two people who are already been my clients, you know very well where I'm going with this. This is not a magical wand that we fix things overnight. But the main thing is, guys, is 2 things. Firstly, do not give up on your relationship without trying all the things you have. By giving up on your relationship without trying, you're also giving up on yourself. So you might as well shut this shop, leave this meeting, hide in a corner, put the blanket over you and go stuff it. Because then this is not for you. But if you choose to stay, you will experience what I call peeling off layers. Imagine a bunch of red roses you've been given. Now, the outer petals are bruised, they're torn, but there is a note on it that says, remove the outer petals which were left on to protect the petals inside during shipping. So what do? You remove the outer petals. It's as if those protective petals are protecting the healthy ones underneath. Sometimes we have to peel our layers one at a time. Now, these layers are acting as a protection. So when Sumi says, oh no, not that again, it's her brain, her body, her nervous system is going, oh my God, now what do I do? It's the same problem again. And when Nidhi is frustrated, she's feeling, what am I going to do now? Fortunately, we have so many layers we have to keep removing. A lot of people are actually afraid of peeling layers. Why? Because they don't want to know what's underneath. They are too scared. They don't want to open the cupboard and see those skeletons falling on them. We cling to these out of fear. By keeping ourselves busy, binge Netflixing, or how else do we keep ourselves busy? Working extra hours, working extra in the gym. How do you guys keep busy? Yes, good one, Rupal. I like that. Think of your relationship slightly differently. Yeah, running things off. Yeah, looking after myself. Yes, that is definitely good that you keep busy. Self-care. Imagine you're carrying a big bucket of water. All right. Every day you're pouring into your kids, your work, your partner, friends, extended family, everything. Now, what if that bucket has small holes in it and water keeps leaking out? Every time you try to refill it, someone else needs something and you become emptier and emptier. And that's how anxiety kicks in, guys. Anxiety in your chest when you can't breathe. That's how depression kicks in. Helplessness. No wonder you get tired. No wonder you get burnt out. And here's the real reason. You were probably taught not to put your needs in front, put someone else's. Don't look after you. Take care of other people first. My mother used to say that quite clearly. पहले दूसरों का देखो, अपना बाद में देखना. Typical words. But I'll say the same thing again, that the only person, I won't share the slide because I couldn't turn it off before, the only person that's coming to save you is the version of yourself that's tired of your current situation. The only person that's coming to save you is the version of yourself that's tired of your current situation. All right, I think I've spoken enough. Let's take a pause. If you're sitting, which you are, unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, take a deep breath in and out. Close your eyes. Now gently place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. Now try and feel where you feel the weight, the heaviness? Is it in your heart or is it in your belly? I want you to ask two gentle questions. I say gentle because I don't want you to force it. Closing your eyes actually lets your subconscious open up. Otherwise, your conscious brain will keep thinking. Close your eyes. Don't overthink. First question. What have I been carrying lately that no one really sees? "30 seconds. Could it be the mental load? Tension, responsibility, yes. Question 2. Stay with me, guys. Eyes closed. Very quickly. What do I need more of, but I rarely ask for? 30 seconds. Could it be more affection, appreciation, emotional support, love and understanding, or simply sleep? Now open your eyes. Quickly, very quickly, type it in, the answer to your first one, which was, what have you been carrying lately that no one really sees? I know Rupal said responsibility. Shweta, I'm actually getting your messages directly to me, but that's okay. Guilt that no one sees. Beautiful. What else? Mental exhaustion, no one sees. Absolutely. Tiredness, yes. Self-worth. Nothing and nothing. I have transformed and people don't want to see that. Totally different topic. You're a funny girl. Carrying responsibilities and fatigue. Absolutely. Now, what do you need more of, but rarely ask for? Appreciation. Yes, Shweta, got it. Respect. Very good one. Attention and care. Beautiful. I want to be visible. Compassion and empathy. Affection. Affection. Love these messages coming through. Why are we doing this, guys? What's the purpose? Can you tell me why we're doing this? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because soul is requiring the knowledge. Absolutely. And what are we going to do with this knowledge? It's good to be aware, but it also we need to starts with P. P for we need to learn to live better. Absolutely. Starts with P. Understand our purpose. Purpose. P for purpose is good. P for practice is also good. Beautiful. Love it. To make changes, 100%. 100%. Now, you guys came here for communication, right? How do we stop the long conversations? And all I'm talking about is you, and you. To tap into what is stopping, what did Naren say? To tap into what is stopping us to build a healthy relationship, first with you, Naren. First with yourself, to be able to understand, change perspective. Absolutely. Good points. People get stuck in communication. They think that is the most important. It is clarity. Yes, Shweta, clarity is important. Connection is important. Because that is what stops the criticism, the talking in circles, the looping. So if you've been told that go and talk more, it doesn't necessarily solve the problem. Because people need to feel safe, emotional safety. So let me touch that word again. Emotional safety. What is emotional safety? It's when you feel safe to be heard and your emotions are validated. Your body language is softer. Your eyes are softer. And you feel respected. Respect came up before. Naren said respect. It's so important. It's the core of our soul. Yes, it is. Emotional safety, you can provide. You can't expect emotional safety in return if you don't provide it to somebody else first. So if you want to talk to someone and you want them to listen to you, you need to provide all these things first. Trying to resolve a conflict when two people are triggered is trying to build a house during a thunderstorm. You can't do it. The foundation is shaking. So what helps is not fixing everything in one go. I used to think on a personal level, I used to be very proud of being solution focused. Okay, I still am. And I used to think if there is a problem, let's get to the bottom of it. And I used to teach that to my clients too. But I've learned anything if I've learned in the last 7 months with all the things that have happened in my life, is not everything actually has a solution. Not everything has a response. Some things have to be left. Because how much are you going to defend yourself? The same conversations for the 100th time? No. My energy is my sacred space. So I need to hold on to that. So what is that one pattern? Individually, I'm asking all of you now. What is that one pattern that you go into during conflict? I can give you some prompts, but I'd rather not. Shut down, yes. Another shutdown. Take it very personally. Okay. So when you take it personally, you're saying, do you shut down or do you get angry? Everyone takes it personally, but which direction are you leaning towards? Keep coming. Okay, so frustrated, hurt, and angry. So you get into the anger mode. All right. Any others? Judgments from past experiences. I get that, Nidhi. I get that. Judgments from past experiences. But when in conflict and you are feeling judged, is that what you're saying? Yeah? Okay. What do you tend to do? Do you tend to over-explain? Do you tend to get angry and you lash out, or do you shut down? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Part two of this thing is, what is that part of me that needs protection? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because if you're getting angry or if you're shutting down, either way, there's a part of you that is looking for protection, protecting you. What is that part of me that needs protection? Is it to, no, actually, no, you guys go on. 30 seconds, maybe 20. What is that part of me that needs protection? The inner child that's unhealed is always coming out in every such situation. Absolutely. But what part of that inner child needs protection right now? Is it, I'm going to give you some prompts. Is it because it's avoiding rejection, abandonment? What is it? Yeah, it wants love. What part is it protecting? I want you to reflect on that. Yeah, being seen. Now you're talking. You got to get deeper and deeper. Keep going one layer at a time. Think about the roses and the petals. Keep removing until you get to the point and go, oh, okay, feeling unloved or unheard, unseen, misunderstood. There you go. Got it. Now you're getting the point. Now, these patterns are learned in survival. Guys, I've got a little bit more to go. Would it be okay if I continue going? I've got a few more minutes. Perfect. All this was learned out of survival. But you've got to ask yourself, do I still need this to lead me now? The people who have said guilt or misunderstood or being unloved, do you still feel that need to be led by that now? Shweta says shut down and she's hard on herself. Okay, that's because that was done in childhood patterns. Do we still need that protection now? I can guarantee you're now adults in adult bodies, you don't need that protection. But you're getting driven by the subconscious belief. So how do you regulate these emotions so you're not lashing out or shutting down? How do you do it? People say stay calm. Yeah, okay, that helps. Doesn't always work. Because your emotions are not the problem here. The problem is that no one really taught you how to stay with the discomfort of that emotion. The problem is people have said to you, stop crying, grow up, don't become so sensitive. Chup ho jao. Chup. So now when things, big feelings come up, we panic, we shut down, we blame, whatever we do. That is not helping. So let me share a simple framework that changed how you can show up differently and try different things. First point, it's called the GROW framework. I'm not sharing the screen, so I'll just get you to make some notes. GROW. G stands for, excuse me, ground yourself. Okay? I saw Sumi close her eyes. Perfect. You know what, Sumi? You are anchored by my voice. Hmm. So before you speak, take a breath. Remind yourself, don't react. What am I feeling right now? What do I need? And guys, if you have reacted, and if your reaction and it's just, oh my God, what have I done? Be kind. Please, self-compassion. Come back to it and go, that was an overreaction. I shouldn't have done that. Whether you say that to yourself or somebody who you spoke to, that that speaks volumes. That takes courage. R stands for recognize. Instead of fighting those feelings, why am I angry with myself? Why am I always depressed? Why am I always frustrated? Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Because you're fighting that feeling. The more you fight, the more frustrated feelings will be on your face. My emotions make sense to me, even if they don't make sense to anybody else. My emotions are here to help me. So if I'm angry, if I'm getting triggered, that's because something in me needs to heal still. O stands for own your energy, which means accountability. Take steps. And W stands for walk it forward, means once you're grounded, acknowledged, then say, here's what I'm not okay with. Here's what I'm going to change. And actions speak louder than words. Somebody put that in the chat a couple of minutes ago. Rupal did. Actions speak louder than words. You won't just learn new tools. This program starts showing up differently in your relationship, even without you realizing it. Because if you want to make significant changes in your life, it has to start with you. Because the only person that's coming to save you is the version of yourself that's tired of your current situation. Nobody is born a good partner. It takes work from both sides. What you put in is what you get out. It doesn't matter. This is not just in marital relationships, it's outside as well. What you put in is what you get out. And stop looking for someone to save you because you are your only one. Don't just accept life going with the flow. Because why? What if you're on a boat that's going downhill? Are you just gonna just let it go? Or you're not just gonna try to save yourself and the people that are in the boat with you? Could be your partner, could be your kids. Take accountability, step up. And some people say, well, what can I do if my partner or if my person is not willing to change? Well, if they're not willing to change, then it's coming back to the crosses I made before. How many crosses have you got and how many crosses have they got? Is this still workable or not? That is the clarity you need to get to. Is it workable or not? Because don't forget, just like we model our parents, our kids are going to model us. And their kids are going to model them. Change starts with us, then automatically we'll see things differently. Absolutely. Absolutely. How are we going? Everybody? Because I'm almost done.
I have a question.
Yes, Rupal, go for it.
So, when we're talking, because what I understand is all our life we are learning, we are growing. It's not a destination. Yeah.
Mhm.
Today, just I'm going to take your example and put one point here. When you are a therapist, yeah, but when situation came to you, your husband's accident, you were very, you know, shaken. Yeah,
Mm.
with all the tools and all the knowledge, you were shaken, you were overwhelmed.
Mm.
And that is what I'm trying to understand, that this is a constant journey to sharpen our knowledge, to sharpen and understand our feelings and emotions, and keep growing with whatever tools it comes to us. But it does not always stay with us, and that is too okay,
Yes.
because you will come back to what you know at
Yes.
that particular situation. I if say I could be wrong, but you can tell me, because we did chat about this,
Mm.
that it did overwhelm you,
Mm.
and it did make you feel as every normal person feels,
Yeah.
in that situation.
Mm.
Though we all look up to you, and like, just because like you are more equipped with tools.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to understand, and tell me if I'm wrong, or if whether my direction of thinking is going wrong, that I feel like at every age stage situation, we will be challenged in a different way, but we
Mm.
would be having certain tools which we will be implementing that during those times. And seminars and people and knowledge, all this will definitely equip us to fight with it. But
Mm.
there is nothing like this is the point that you reach, and that's it, you are a perfect human being.
Yeah. That is very
Nobody
true.
can become perfect. Like, if
Mm.
what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
we can come into many seminars and
Mm.
keep learning and growing. But like today I pick up little thing, but that does not mean that that's it, that I've become now this person and I'm always going to act and show up in my relationships
Mm.
perfectly. No, every time I will be triggered differently,
Mm.
every time situations will be different. एंड whatever वो कहते हैं ना, नींव की ईंट होती है, वहीं से
Mm.
हमारी सोच थोड़ी बहुत आती ही रहेगी. You can keep on checking it, but you would come back to that. Let
You will
me know
come
if.
back to that, and you're very, very right about the tools. Okay,
Hmm.
it's all about tools. Just imagine some people are so much living in denial that they think that उनमें कुछ खराबी नहीं है, that they don't want to. Now we're fine. We know these people. They are so close to our heart. Now, yes, I thought I had worked on a lot, but I hadn't until it hit me hard. It's changed my life, it's changed my marriage for the better.
Yeah, so एक बात तो है कि जो
The
भी
more
होता है, it's for
knowledge
the
you
good.
gain, the more
Yeah.
humble you become. The
Yes.
more knowledge you gain, the more compassion you have for yourself. That, oh my God, what was I chasing before? This is what I want. Just you keep shortening it.
Hmm.
Your friend list becomes shorter,
True.
and that changes everything.
True.
So, yes, this is always work in progress. But if you take that from a place of abundance, then it's good. If you take that from a place of scarcity or fear, then that is work you still need to do. So yes, you're always work in progress. It's
Yeah.
hard not to go back to bad past habits. We learn a little here and there to grow. Everyone needs help and direction from time to time. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't think that I know everything. Yes, you've got to start somewhere, the podcast, the books, and everything. You've got to start somewhere, but you cannot stop. Once you start, you can never go back to what you were. Nidhi will tell you, she will never go back to what she was. Never. Any other questions or shares? Anyone want to share anything?
I think I'll share something because I've been on a roller coaster ride for the past 1 year now.
You have.
I am, I feel I'm more aware now. I'm still work in progress, learning every day. I feel I'm learning how to swim by paddling. Sometimes I paddle harder, sometimes it's slow and gentle with compassion. But yes, the shifts come in a very gentle way.
Mm.
And after a few months, when you look back, you realize you've come far along. Instead of
Yes.
thinking how deep you fell, now I like to reflect as it how far I've come. But even now, I feel there's a lot of scope of improvement.
There
A lot of
always is
work
going to
needs to
be,
be done.
Nidhi. There's always
Yeah,
is going to be, but seeing you grow from the time I knew you. So I've known Nidhi for what good, has it been 2 years or 18 months or something like that?
almost 2 years. Yeah.
Yes. So she's grown incredibly from here to there. I won't get into detail, but the person she was when she first came to me and the person she is now is a 360 difference. I can't take all the credit. I wish I could, but I can't. I
Bravo.
know I was there to push, but then you did the paddling after that. Now, there is a choice. Once you get the nudge, people can choose to stop paddling or people can choose to paddle more. Who are you? That's the question. Any others? Sumi?
I would like to share similar experience. I
Yeah?
think I called you Neetu, I think 1 year ago. I was in absolutely very bad state and you were very patient. You listened to all the problems that I had. And since then, like the way you have been helping me, and that is why like everything that you were saying today, it was absolutely making sense, that is exactly how you have to work on yourself, and within your sessions you have told me how to work on myself, and I have also like shifted completely. I can't even imagine that the person that I was like years ago, and nowadays my thinking, my personality, everything has changed for better. And within the relationship as well, it's changed in the sense I'm able to manage my triggers, I'm able to manage emotionally. I'm much more calmer, much more stable inside. Like on the outside, I'll still shout at kids and I'll still have conflicts and all. But on the inside, I'm much more calmer. So it's, yeah, everything that you have said today completely makes sense. And like as you're saying, that life will keep on throwing challenges at you
Yeah.
at different times, and sometimes you'll feel like you don't have the tool to deal with this. So yeah, you have to keep learning as well.
Life will continue to throw challenges because if you haven't learned from it, it'll throw a same lesson at you
Yeah.
until you've learned. And then it'll move on to something else. And Sumi, you have incredibly gone from here to there as well. I remember the way Sumi used to tell me in the sessions, she used to challenge me every time. But you know what? And she'll look like this, and I'm like, Sumi, I can see your thinking. She used to challenge me.
Yeah. You worked on me. You
Here we go.